Today, the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and the Tertiary Education Commission will explain the new side of the story for the dissolvement of the university courts and setting up of a special committee for run and perform the function of the university courts. People and we don't follow Radio Democracy program them. Gonna see down the host different players them for Sika this issue we happen between the University of Salone and the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. And yesterday edition of the program Good Morning Salone, we been get civil society rep na the program and self we been get as a president we state them position. But today we they get the ministry we take the decision and also them partner the winner. Tertiary Education Commission for explain to Salone people as to why they dissolve the university court. Well, the Minister of Technical and Higher Education, now one way they be done separate from the Ministry of Basic Education under present bill in government, and the role of this now for ensure they should pretend the running of higher institutions then Salone and ensure quality na the higher education sector. For Sika that, I want to welcome the program Emmanuel Momoh, the Director of Higher Education, Minister of Technical and Higher Education. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
And also, Alea Bidon, welcome Josephus Sawyer, Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Commission, where this agency, the established by an Act of Parliament in 2001 for, among other things, them accredit higher institutions, ensure quality na the higher education sector, and also advise government on things them we get for do with higher education. Josephus na the representative for the Tertiary Education Commission at the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning once again.
Yes, I come to Emmanuel Momoh from the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and Director of Higher Education, Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. We they inside the program for explain the Ministry of Education the your side as to why then dissolve the university court and set up a body for run a special committee for do the work of the committee. From that background, we are Dongi and Yusuf, of course, don't they follow 98 discussions then on this issue. Then are the program for talk about on your own side. First of all, for listeners, them one for know what's in the latest for Sika this issue. We are just give background to.
All right. Thank you very much for extending invitation to the Ministry of Technical Higher Education for make we can make the position clear here. Based on waiting yesterday, as a president and also the civil society person, we can talk. Well, we don't really, as a ministry, don't say we have resolved this matter. Not a team we can begin again from media publication. But when we listened then yesterday, we actually realized that a lot of misinformation went out there yesterday to the public. And then management demand necessary say we need to come and also make our position clear and also bring to light the truth, which is why I am here, and I thank you very much for extending that invitation to us. The University Court actually is a creation of an act. If you take a look at the Universities Act Universities Act of 2021, you will find out say Section 11 of that University Act creates the University Court. The University Court now the highest administrative decision-making body in the university, right? So we expect that because now they are the highest administrative decision-making body chaired by the Chancellor of the university, therefore actually perform their duty with the aim of attaining the objective of the university. But over the years, actually, as I talk to you, me not be a member with the sit in court instead of the chief education officer. So a lot of things and they really will not be they go well at the university court. And the final say this if it continue for go on, they actually they do no good to the university. So as a supervising ministry, we deem it necessary say we have to come in and take the action necessary. In the first place, we don't actually get constant meeting with the universities. To start with, the university of Sierra Leone presented their academic calendar of events to us, as all other institutions, public institutions. We want to actually go back to the normal academic calendar. That academic calendar, which was presented to us, let me tell we say, then we'll get congregation. Well, for people with the listen, graduation, like call graduation. For the one that will be done them programs in June last year, 2023, June, July last year, 2023. They say they will get that graduation day in December 2023. To be specific, 17th, 18th, and 19th of December 2023. That was the academic calendar presented to us. Now we're going to court. When we go to court, then tell we again say, well, because I am pending strike day for ASA, they're not going to meet up that academic calendar. I sat in that court. I tell them, say, well, now this court, now you don't take this decision. ASA strike not for serve as an impediment actually, for make we not go forget this congregation as stipulated. More especially when we don't reach an agreement with ASA that government is committed to fulfilling its obligation with the demands where they make. So why can't we have this congregation? If you cannot have it in December, why we not go get time in January? I appeal to the court. They say, let we get time in January. They say, no, our decision, either we have it in December or in April. Those are the two dates where they don't agree. And they say, the decision is sacrosanct. I appeal to them. I said, this one is not going down well with the students where they wait for graduates. It will not go down well with the parents, and it will not go down well with other state actors. So please see reason. If you cannot have it in December, let's have this congregation in January. They say no, they're not the one. You have a baby university, EBK University. We don't go get a young congregation. Recently we don't come. Last week we come Jala. Jala don't get a congregation. Eastern Technical University. Then they work on the youth congregation. So we see I say really this one is not good. People then get for look for job. People then get for apply for other studies. And when they come for interview, of course, I mean, most times I can at the panel for interview for international scholarship. You get for actually present your calendar, your original certificate of result before you are considered for that result. Look at what happens at EBK. As when they graduate and they give them the result. When will the university actually give original certificate, original copies of result to the student with degree? So we say, this is not actually good for the image of the university. We have to step in. Another thing, the fees, the other charges, they levy other charges, which will not go through the university court. And the student they come with a complaint to the ministry. So we come, we sit down, we discuss. The administration for them ensure say, then take this one to the FNGPC, that is Finance and General Purpose Committee, for them to look at them, and also send it to court for approval before ever they go actually levy on student. We only saw that at the WhatsApp. We were shocked. You see, another thing where the university court been do is that you see the blatant violation of the Universities Act. The University Act it talk say in section 7, subsection 2, paragraph subsection 3, section 7, subsection 3 of the University Act, it talk say in the absence of a chancellor, the vice chancellor can act in the stead of a chancellor. Again, I was in that court. You know, the reason why Ministry of Technical Higher Education representing all courts of the universities now forgive advice on policy implementation. Similarly, with the TEC, so I advise them, there is an express provision that in the absence of the chancellor, the vice chancellor will have to step in. They say no. In fact, we are going to we appoint somebody, we're not a chancellor, for making go be deputy chairman of court. I told them that's wrong. You have an express provision. You cannot do that. So you find out say the ministry can go to them courts and they advise them, but they're not they listen. They want to always do things their own way.
You don't say plenty. You don't say plenty things, but we will just for make you lay your premise with all what you don't explain. Waiting lay the foundation for the dissolvement of the court with not immediate issues them will lead to the dissolvement of
well,
the course?
now the foundation are the so. Now because of that thing they are so, you see the lapses in the court. You see the lapses. Then thing they are so what they explain so. Now then actually lead we for make we can dissolve that court today. Because the final say they are not working in the interest of the university, in the interest of the student. And people anything goes wrong, now the ministry that they can fall on. Now we they ask. Because now we they actually regulate, now we they supervise all public universities in this country. And if we actually look at the educational objective of the government, which is enshrined in Section 9, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, 1991, and they tell you, say, government is the responsibility of government for making you provide adequate educational opportunities for all citizens of this country. And if you are providing that, we are the agent.
Right.
So if they are not doing it well, then the Ministry of Technical Higher Education will be held responsible. Now we government will fall apart.
All right. You mentioned, say, the Act provide provision wherein the Vice Chancellor can act if the Chancellor not do. Which are the criteria where Vice Chancellor forget for act in that position day?
Well, the law say once you don't be Vice Chancellor, now you for act with the Chancellor not dey. Yeah, of course, say for be a Vice Chancellor, a professor of the university and that kind of thing as stipulated in the Act. You understand? So they say no, the Vice Chancellor not to we not even allow for not to info act, they appointed somebody else. And that person I be sit down at the university court, it they move motions. So like me, I just tell myself, say, just as a appointment was not statutory, then the motions then, where it be the move, was also equally illegal.
But according to your explanation, that in the past years, them when the acting vice chancellor or not, the vacancy would be filled by the pro chancellor.
All right.
And these are the same thing happen in this case, but the ministry go ahead and say no to the person way for acting this capacity when a Professor Samai.
All right. So that brings me to another thing. You see, when the court was constituted 5 years back, they began to appoint committees of court. Now that committees of court where they be appoint, where they get for also appoint the deputy chairman of court, where I don't just talk about. So we are expecting that they could have equally appointed a pro vice chancellor as provided for by the Universities Act, Section 9, subsection 1. That a pro vice chancellor should be appointed by court. So we will expect, say, therefore not appoint a pro vice chancellor, which they never did. They don't ever do that. So what's happen? We go to court at some point in time where after the appointment of Professor Fudisa by His Excellency to another position. So we now ask, the minister was concerned that a vacuum was created. He asked, do we have a pro vice chancellor? When I for step in immediately after Professor Sardon left, the chancellor actually say no pro vice chancellor. That was a telephone conversation between the minister and the chancellor.
Is this official conversation or just private conversation?
Private conversation, which she reported to us. The minister reported that to us. So now we also go on a meeting. We ask the registrar. If we find the phone say the registrar now in the custodian of the steel of the university, the statute and ordinances of the university. So the registrar will ask, do you have a pro vice chancellor? He said, well, by understanding, they get a pro vice chancellor. What did that mean? Say that we don't get an understanding among themselves, say, therefore it will be rotational. Okay, granted, okay, by understanding. But we tell myself, say, you don't run an institution by understanding. When there is an express provision, as I stated, in section 9, subsection 1 of the Universities Act of 2021. So it is clear. So that the pro vice chancellor should be appointed. So we are of the view that the pro vice chancellor was appointed, but he was never appointed. And we asked the registrar, okay, let's grant it for argument's sake. If the pro vice chancellor was appointed, do you have minutes to that effect? As I speak to you, the registrar not ever produced minutes where that decision was taken, the minute of that meeting, and the University Act says minutes of meetings of court. should always be, in the possession of the registrar, as she is the custodian of those documents.
But according to
those documents to us. She never did. So we said there is no pro vice chancellor, and it was on that reason, in fact, the minister went back to the chancellor and said, now there is no pro vice chancellor, I have to take a decision as a ministry supervising this institution to appoint the acting VC and P, which she did.
But
you understand? And in fact, the act
according to the president for ASA yesterday, say the ministry or the minister not go and ask the admin on the university.
Well, I
say when I just act on my own.
Well, I actually listen that as a president, and yes, like I don't say, he said so yesterday, which is not true.
So I get any tangible documents where they should say the admin at the university actually, me tell and say A, B, and C as you just mentioned.
Yeah, the registrar say now by understanding. The minutes of the court, they tell me that. They said that by understanding that it was rotational. It's there. You understand? So they say, in fact, now the minister, now he call the chancellor, now he ask and say, what do we do in this circumstance? So, but you want for no say, the Universities Act of 2021 makes provision in section 7, subsection 2D, that in the absence in a situation like that, where a vacuum is created, it is the responsibility of the chancellor for making go get consultation with the minister for the furtherance of the objective of the court. So we are expecting that the chancellor would have consulted the minister. Instead of consulting the minister, it was the other way around. Now the minister now even go to the chancellor.
Now where the minister don't inquire if pro chancellor they for take the place of the acting the vice chancellor. What in the ministry do in this case? Is it to appoint or ask the university for appoint pro-chancellor or acting vice-chancellor for the university, or now the ministry gets the right for appoint? Which legal basis will I use for appoint acting vice-chancellor?
Well, I don't tell you say the minister actually get consultation with the chancellor. He say vice chancellor no dey. Now I take action for appoint the vice chancellor. So let me say
which legal basis
let me say
the
this.
minister use for justify that appointment.
Let me say
somebody go say if the vice chancellor no dey, the minister can go back and ask the university court for appoint, but instead of in do appointment. So in doing the appointment, make people they ask on which legal basis.
All right. So now you see the argument of the university. They always focus on the Universities Act, but people for also understand that the University Act gets documents where big pass the act. You understand?
Who's document that?
The Constitution of Sierra Leone. When I the parent document, it big pass the act. Yeah, that is a ground norm. So, if you look at section 62 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone of 1991, and they tell you say where any minister has been charged with the responsibility for any department of government, he shall exercise general direction and control over that department.
So that includes appointing of acting vice chancellor.
Now we supervise the Ministry of Technical, the universities at this country. So that is to say, the minister get right. If you don't see say things are not working well, he get the responsibility for making go step in the ministry. We cannot just sit by and say no.
Somebody go say the minister for ensure say he use all the avenues them. If it is not the work. If you don't ask the university court for appoint chancellor and pro chancellor, they're not able to appoint at all. He go use in power now for appoint. No. Just asking if this day no, then he do the action.
No, we not actually go for ask. We believe say the university actually don't. The University of Sierra Leone, a big university, don't take. It don't have older one than the oldest university in this country. If I don't actually know say, not to we for tell university waiting for do. The minister have been say, if we get pro vice chancellor appointed by court, there was no business of the ministry appointing the acting vice chancellor. No business. We not got any business. But because they renege on their duty, on their responsibility, that make we come in.
And if they talk say we not get any legal basis, the ministry get legal basis. Why don't tell you say the constitution is bigger than that University Act, where in section 62, which the minister use, you talk say we did that we can supervise, we get general control over the department and subject to such direction and control. The department shall be under the supervision of the permanent secretary, whose office shall be the public of, which was the reason why the permanent secretary write that letter day for dissolve that court. So in section 62 also clear. You see, in the university, don't just focus your, if you are a researcher, we expect the people that are in university for research. You don't just limit your thought around the Universities Act. Go look at other statutes. The TC Act is there. The University Act is there. The Constitution, which is the parent document, is there. Look at them and look at all of those provisions before everybody can begin talk say the minister not get any legal basis for do what we do.
All right, you just mentioned about legal basis. On the other hand, the academic staff association say the minister no get right, and waiting them base the arguments now that how president will appoint the minister, don't the minister say they appoint somebody?
Now, also, this is interesting. If you take a look at even the appointment of the vice chancellor and principal, the substantive holder, this is not acting no more, the substantive holder, would they actually appoint? There are provisions in the Universities Act, section 8, 1 and 3. They tell you how you appoint the substantive holder of that position. That after the search committee, the joint search committee of the commission and a TEC and the court, they got for actually present the names of people to the minister. And their recommendation, and the minister got for recommend this person to chancellor for make them appoint her as vice chancellor and principal. The same thing goes for the chancellor. That the minister, that the president shall appoint a chancellor on the advice of the minister. So that minister, even the chancellor, today president want for appoint chancellor, or tomorrow president want for appoint chancellor of that university, as it is in the Universities Act. Now minister got for forward names to president, recommending them. Before ever president will say, okay, I'll appoint.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. Director of Higher Education and Minister of Technical and Higher Education. We'll come back to you. We'll go for a short break inside the program. Good morning, Salon, and continue the program after that.
All-time network problem.
Salon, they can from 98.1 FM if you just join me. We talk to the Minister of Technical and Higher Education and also the Tertiary Education Commission, and we still guest them like Emmanuel Momoh Esquire, Director of Higher Education, Minister of Technical and Higher Education, and also inside the program we get Joseph Osoya. Then they explain their own side of the story, why the dissolution of the University Court and setting up of a special committee, as Emmanuel Momoh don't explain, say now the constitution the minister used for dissolve the University Courts, we according to them, then no the University Courts think say or the Education Ministry thinks say the constitution big past the University Court and decide for use and for dissolve the University Court. Well, we come to Joseph Osoya, Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Commission. As I mentioned earlier, this is an institution which was established by an act of parliament in 2001 for, among other things, them accredit higher institutions, them ensure quality higher education and advise government on things that we get for do with higher education. Good morning, Mr. Joseph Osoya. Welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning.
You don't be quiet for a long time. They watch Mr. Momoh, they make your premise. From the TEC standpoint, what's in the justification on the dissolution of the university courts?
Well, of course, the TEC not get the mandate for dissolve courts. Let's establish that premise in the first place, right? But the TEC can advise, as you rightly don't say, from Part 3, Section 7.1 of the Acts, we lay the premise itself for the establishment of the Tertiary Education Commission and some of its functions. And it make it very clear, say the object for which the commission is established, so among other things, is to advise government on tertiary education. That's exactly what we do as a commission. We advise can always be considered by government and taken, or if you so desire not for taken, based upon whatever premise will be based on. So this particular matter is TEC, also last state and say, a member of the university courts. I don't want to delve into what in the director already done talking as to where we reach to that particular point. For the ministry appoint an acting vice chancellor and principal. But waiting the TEC state, when that discussion been going on the university court, right? And even the TEC be make it very clear, together with the legal people and say, one way thing no be ever happen was that no consultation not being come out directly from the university court to the ministry. And the first meeting we've been getting in December on this particular issue, there was a resolution that the chancellor for get a meeting, a further consultation where he would decide as to whether them for meet the ministry. Right. By all indication, that meeting is like there was already a posture of the courts where we make it very clear that this position of the ministry will not accept them in any shape or form, right? And that within the court stay, the court supreme and the court in position sacrosanct. And even that meeting, the TC was very clear, even in terms of the sensitivity of the position of the vice chancellor and principal for say you cannot abandon that position or left that position there for a whole year, considering the sensitive nature of the position. Had it been for the TEC at that particular time, the substantive vice chancellor and principal will for just don't say make it resign and move on, considering that it was not physically incapacitated, right? But he go for taking another appointment. And the university, very strategic, we talk about the vice chancellor and principal, we can step in as deputy chair of court, we can head senate, and you get so many other issues. So fast forward 2024, it came very clearly that the meeting, consultation with the minister, the court had a posture. And then, of course, subsequent meeting in which the court make the position very clear that then get the rights. And the ministry be don't prove to the best of their ability that, indeed, there was no minute for justify this appointment of court of a pro vice chancellor. And waiting make the TEC self convinced with the position of the ministry was the fact that in a meeting held on the 16th of January this year, right, the court again go back now and say then they can appoint a pro vice chancellor. We automatically presuppose that waiting the ministry being confronted with at the initial stage say court not be ever appoint a pro vice chancellor was okay. So meaning at that initial point that be the position of the court for say yes, at this initial stage you not get a pro vice chancellor appointed by court, but let the ministry give you an opportunity for appoint one. And I don't feel so before they even reach to this particular point. But when you vehemently, right, you vehemently and categorically they take a push to say no, we have an internal arrangement, we have a pro vice chancellor, you don't get any evidence for substantiate that. So you own superior authorities and you own supervisory authorities. By all implication is like as if to say you assert authority where you never justify.
Now,
so just a minute, they cannot lose this point because waiting for become very clear at the initial point was for the university to say yes, will not be appointed pro chancellor, the courts not be appointed, but we ask the ministry for give you an opportunity now for go to court and have that regularized, which was not done. But it was in so many minutes to the effect where the university they justify say there was a pro vice chancellor on an internal arrangement basis, and there was no submission to the ministry for say give you an opportunity for law appointed pro vice chancellor. After which, then take that posture there, we were invited by the highest lawmaking body in this country, in a parliament, right? For which the TC was also part of that meeting. At that meeting, both the university, the ministry, been there and make their positions very clear. Parliament are the custodian of the making of laws. There's a parliamentary oversight committee on higher education, right? I just set the premise under which the TC come into this, not to like every TC just come and take a decision. That meeting, the parliament on the 16th of January 2024, Parliament make a clear position where they say after all of the deliberations, they say they will communicate the outcome of the discussion, and which they did on the 18th in a resolution, a 6-point resolution where they make very clearly on a clear roadmap for settle whatever impasse.
Now, quick one, clarification. The TEC therefore advised government on issue of higher education.
Absolutely.
Now, when they work with Minister of Education, what
and
in
institutions,
in the institutions, them, what in una advise the Minister of Education when they said on the dissolution of the university courts? What in una advice?
Yes, I can't do that. That's not the premise of the bill. Because I mean, for you just advice, you get for based you advice on certain premise. I don't tell you say we're gonna court. And it was evidently clear at the court meeting that there was no proof of evidence for justify there was an appointed pro vice chancellor by the court, right? And the expectation of TC at that particular point was for the court to see, can the ministry give us the time to go back to the drawing board and have this position But the posture was very clear on the part of the university court to say, and it then a record where the TEC representative will make them very clear say, TEC not going to be a party of this particular discussion, right? It then at the meeting, I mean, then at the minutes. So when we come to the Parliamentary Oversight Committee now, right? Take and say the university court not listen to waiting TEC advice, right? We come to the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Tertiary and Higher Education. We call all parties present. Then they discuss, the minister making premise, the university chancellor making premise, Parliament look at and say, now we make the laws here. I think the road where the ministry don't go, right, we come up with a clear roadmap. And there was a 6-point resolution, among which resolution one, they uphold, Parliament uphold the decision of the ministry. Parliament coming with a 6-month roadmap for say, the acting vice chancellor appointed by the ministry for stay for 6 months, for which period a substantive vice chancellor to a search and appointments committee for be constituted, and all of the ramifications shall be done. We get a copy of that one day. We get a copy of that resolution.
Una a member of the university court.
Of course, we are a member of the university
then
court.
una recommend for dissolve the court una the part of. Is that the case?
Yeah, we get a regulatory mandate. If you there as a member of a court does not in any way jeopardize your functions, because you they provide a regulatory and supervisory role of the universities. Let me make that very clearly. And that's I think some people they misconstrue now, because I hear some man on talk say, oh, if the TC get let make a anti clear. The TC even gets a power under a regulation for close a university. Let make that very clear. So you can't say because the TC they sit in a court does not get a mandate, because I don't hear other speakers at the TC.
Because the argument that you TC the part of the problem and now the church again.
No, being a member of the court does not make you a problem. You can get a dissenting view to waiting people they see, right? And as part of regulatory functions, I don't tell you already, see, if we get powers up to the extent for suspend, for revoke accreditation, we get also power for advise government, right? He left to government for say waiting the TC advice, yes, we could take them or not. As I don't tell you, see, take TC out of the equation now, right? Take TC out of the equation. It goes beyond TC now. It goes to the Parliamentary Oversight Committee with a 6-point resolution, upholding, right, the decision of the ministry, coming a way forward with waiting a search and appointments committee, having respected the acting vice chancellor and principal for day for 6 months, right? So if they don't come with Dande now, then the last point where they make say anybody will breach Dande will be a total contempt of parliament. You get me? After that, they waiting happy. The court summon another meeting, and another meeting they now when then go the 24th, then take a decision say no. The previous meeting where the court don't agree on in retroactive for appoint a pro vice chancellor, then they stand on that decision, then they uphold that decision, and that they know they recognize the decision of the ministry. So meaning you don't breach the authority of the ministry, you don't breach the authority and recommendation of TC in the court, you don't breach the Parliamentary Oversight Committee of Higher and Technical Education. So all of them problems are culminated. Then the TC say, okay, then we need to make a position to the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. On the basis of that, then the TC recommend sanction to the courts. Sanction can be anyway.
So you think say the decision where the ministry take for scatter the courts now the best action from the TC angle?
Absolutely. The TC definitely will say when you get a university court, we don't violate the authority of the ministry. You don't take the ministry out of it. You go to the lawmaking body, when the legislature, when the highest body making, when parliament, then serve the resolution, you blatantly violate, you contempt parliament, right? Then you come to the advice of the TEC, you go against them. Then of course, the sanction, right? TEC not explicitly say close, dissolve the court, but the sanction when the ministry look at the magnitude of the crime and say, yes, of course, the TEC definitely support the decision of the ministry on that basis.
All right. One thing again, where the president of ASA said yesterday, now that nothing so far not done at the University Act, we mention acting vice chancellor. So the decision again where the ministry take from the TC angle, una aware of any provision of the act we say the ministry supposed to appoint acting vice chancellor?
The director already don't tell you say it don't go to the ground no more than the constitution. And I just want to give you series of precedents, right? Even the substantive vice chancellor they talk about now was appointed by the ministry. If I think the president's office have maybe something not even talk that one.
So now the right post.
The substantive. I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. Right? You're talking about precedents. Right? They talk about rotational. They talk about understanding. The precedent was the substantive vice chancellor was appointed by the ministry. The DVC in question was also appointed by the ministry. At that particular time, there was no answer for coming and talk. Say, waiting the ministry be doing not being correct. You understand what I'm trying to say? At least now they use the act at your advantage. Then when you come at your own disadvantage, you want for talk say no. When Professor Malamo, they come back to statistics Sierra Leone when he left Jala University, a whole retired vice chancellor and principal was placed as acting. And until it's a quick fix, right? It's a quick fix. It's a 6-month transition period for let the activities of the university not stall. I think, but the powers of the supervisory ministry, because mind you, anything will go clash now at that level there. When they go to cabinet, that the minister.
Now, Mr. Joseph was the question. You just mentioned saying that president. Now that's done the happen over the past year. Now so the law say.
The law states the law make them very clearly see, right? When you don't get a vice chancellor and principal, you forget a pro vice chancellor and principal, right? Waiting a situation where a pro vice chancellor and principal not there movements, and then the university they insist for deceive you supervise the authority for talk, so we have one. Then the supervisory authority will therefore go beyond and take a decision, a radical decision for ensure say irregularize things.
Una continue for the with they come back. We continue for look at this issue of dissolution of the university courts and setting up of the special committee we don't come up with the new recommendations. Then we discuss that recommendation inside the program. We'll go for a short break. We'll continue the program. Good morning, Salon.
Democracy 98.1 FM inside the program. We they take other issues inside the program. Usai this BNTM, the Eastern Lions executive may announce the development plan for the trade center field, where this according to the chairman for the Eastern Lions Football Club, Anthony Navo Jr. Inside the next 3 weeks, they will fix the artificial turf at the trade center as way for improve the playing facility for host the Eastern Lions Premier League game there. Well, Musakama gets more and gonna report.
Presently, they na the trade center, we are the playing ground for the Eastern Lions Football Club. But as the club made announced, say they want to upgrade this field by the way they will put artificial turf as the first phase of them 3-way projects. We later then go build pavilion and other facilities. Them that after the first round of the Salon Premier League, work don't start na the ground now as they. Now the Eastern Lions playing field now. We say a day I see truck park and also see machine when a caterpillar and I see red dotty all over the place. From the far end by the goalpost, I see consignments them. Before I talk to the chairman of the club, I go talk to the engineer in charge of the construction projects na trade center. Now we go introduce himself.
Me na engineer Kef Kamara. We work in a gentle group of companies, Sierra Leone Limited. We did trade center. We try for prepare the surface for the artificial turf. This project we don't begin on since last year. As we all know, people were familiar with trade center before, how they be rocky. With the help of we boss, then we as a team with the machine them, we can remove all the rocks them within the day. We try for smooth day. So now the second phase we dey on. We prepare the surface for the artificial turf. As you see now, if you carry last week, you will see say na sand dust within the pitch. Now we don't come with laterite. We don't spread them, compact them. We will prepare the surface, final one, where we prepare for the turf.
When the chairman for Eastern Lions been say these projects they complete in the next 2 to 3 weeks, people deny or people get mixed feeling whether or not it will be a very guarantee work for put artificial turf in 2 to 3 weeks. As an engineer, how possible that could be?
It's possible because Mr. Navo, when the chairman of Eastern Lions, a household name, na duane no more no sabiam. When they know they close to am can doubt what they say. I guarantee, I give me word say, as long as it be don't say, this stuff go complete within 2 to 3 weeks. We dey on them and we dey push. As you see now, the machines then they are now and they sleep to the back. For the past 3 days, now the water bouncer, the grader and the compactor then they are. So we dey push.
Okay, as you don't get from Engineer Kev, then they do the first phase of the artificial turf project now the trade center. I'm here to the chairman for Easter Lions Football Club, Wina Anthony Nabu Jr. Hello and welcome to Democracy Radio.
Thank you very much, Musa.
Some time back or 2 weeks back, I've been getting you online where you talk about this project. Say as soon as the first round of the Saloon Premier League end, they start. And today we then at the field now. We say the engineer don't explain the process way they don't undergo so far. What's next after this project, after this phase here? So we did do so.
Thank you very much. So the entire period of this work now between 2 to 3 weeks, like I've been mentioned. So you get 2 sets of contractors. You get the civil engineers, them when a gentle group, now the lead engineer you just talked to. When I then carry them big machine here for prepare the ground, work on the drainage, divert the water, and do all the AFAF work. We then done, because we done the program for a couple of days now, then they carry dirty, trucks them, and prepare the ground. We then done, then they hand over to the Chinese, now the company where we order the turf from. Then they are, now then done the work all then this year, then they direct the civil engineers them how for, prepare the ground, who's for high, who's for low. And we then done, then they hand over the field to the Chinese man then now, where they can spread the turf, where they're at the final stage, we can to the artificial turf.
It's possible for do all the work here in 2 to 3 weeks before the second round of the Saloon Premier League.
We got that work them, don't get me wrong, where they continue. That is the work for pavilions, the work for the perimeter fence, the work for the floodlights and all the other adjustments around the field. Then they get for the go on. But it's very urgent for we forget the artificial turf done so that we team go come back for play for the second round.
For the second round, this field good already for play. Somebody they listen go like for know how much this cost Easter Lions.
I no one for give specific figure, but obviously the artificial turf is about $150,000. The ready-made pavilion we want for install, it's about $200 and something thousand. You put down there and put so many other artwork where they go. It's over $500,000 for a start, but you get for spend more than that as you go.
This ready-made pavilion before the second round starts?
Well, it's not possible for let you fix the pavilion before the second round starts, but in the next couple of months it got already because we don't order them. In fact, we get a good friend, another colleague, now this football industry we now through we pass. We don't do them before for show we the road on how forget we own. So thanks to them, but with that time they come, we go talk about that. But yes, getting the pavilion, you also get separate contractors that we get for flying because now something like prefab, you just they can't fix them. The civil engineers then from Gentle Group go prepare the foundation of the pavilion and then you go just can't fix them. But all down the deep and the different phases of the project. So fans, ready, we not only the Gilna a proper feel, but by the special grace of God, will they win the league or will they win the FA Cup?
Chairman for Easter Lions Football Club, Anthony Nabu Jr., they talk about them field projects where they go on now, where according to them, then go complete them before the second round of the Saloon Premier League in the next 2 to 3 weeks. As you say, the civil engineers then from the Gentle Group of company, they work now on the field, and after that, then go hand over to the Chinese company where they in Saloon now, we said they order the carpet grass from and then go start work as soon as the Gentle Group of company hand over the field to them. Well, from the trade center, now the eastern parts now Freetown for the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa Kamara Naminim. Well, the program is still listening to our Good Morning Saloon where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. And still now the studio, we get with studio guests them. We get the Director of Higher Education at the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education. We the studio with we, and also we get the Executive Secretary from the Tertiary Education Commission, the only at the studio on the dissolution of the University Court and appointment of special committee. But earlier, the Director of Higher Education, the Minister of Technical Education, Emmanuel Momoh Esquire, say the justification where the minister used for dissolve the university court and appoint a special committee in reference to the constitution of Saloon, where they use as against the university court. We say the constitution there above the university court. But of course, we don't get different advocates, then we don't take central position in discussion of this. And yesterday we get one of them at the studio, the Chief Executive Campaign for Human Rights and Development International, Chadi Abdul Fatoma. He is online now as they listen to the program, and he get position on the statement and the issue where the Director of Higher Education say now the constitution of Saloon they use for dissolve the university court. Hello, good morning, Fatoma. Welcome to the program. Good morning, Saloon.
Good morning, Musa, and good morning, listeners.
I just give brief background making reference to the position of the Minister of Education, according to the Director of Higher Education, say now the constitution of Saloon they use for dissolve the university court and set up special committee. Now, one way you don't get interest in. What's in your position on this?
I actually want to know the specific provision inside with national constitution where the ministry rely on this money. But since the time they enter into this conversation, they never make that constitutional provision as a sole vehicle for travel with for land a legal destination. But however, they have been onboarding in an illegal vehicle. First, this is not a very ministry. The minister say the TEC advised them under the TEC Act 7, Section 7, where in Section 7(2)(f), when in give them the power for let them go ahead for dissolve. So he knew that say the education ministry, the higher education ministry, continue for be consistent in this matter, continue for be deliberately the lie and deceive the people of this country on a straightforward situation. The institution clearly know, and the representation there clearly know that say an error has been done, a mistake has been done. What needs to be done, now let them face up as a human being for actually accept this error and move along with the process. It knows that deliberately what they do, it is against the rule of law. When then they appoint back, then go to Section 8(5) of the University Act, will not get any bearing with regards to what they say. If you think about within Section 60, 61 say any act, any constitution or any act that the president get the prerogatives for fire. So if you been the fire, you say as directed by the president. When president they appoint people, not the president itself they appoint, right? We get the secretary to president when he can put out that letter and say as directed by the president. That is constitutional. But here is a ministry keep on telling the people of this country, we have them on paper, we have them on video that say the Tertiary Commission Act gives them the provision for dissolved. And when they appoint on the last letter where we get, where they appoint this last illegal chancellor, what did they say? They say the Court Act, Section 8(5), but they not say the Constitution. It's sad, it's disappointing that we have people supposedly to be educated or who are educated are deliberately presenting false misinformation, disinformation to the people of this country. It's a mockery. Thousands of people are waiting. Their future depends on this decision. And we have people who are toying with this decision. I mean, I just want to let it tell you clearly the constitutional bearing were given that mandate, and why for this far too long they don't keep them. It's sad that we're not there at the studio, like where them be they invite them and not they come. But it's good that when I give this opportunity, we're able for challenge. But over the phone, we cannot be continuing like where we be done at the studio. But we actually want to see which constitutional provision when are impairing, where it lay, to the people of this country this morning, where not to the secretary to president make that pronouncement. Every other appointment, for the fact that I come out through the secretary the secretary to president, where say, as advice or the president say, if the president not appoint this person, it's very clear. Nobody don't go contest that. It's not the constitution. The president get the power for hire and fire. They said to any act of parliament or the constitution.
That's now the Chief Executive Campaign for Human Rights and Development International. They follow the program and get in position on the statement of the Director of Higher Education, Mr. Momoh. We see now the Constitution of Salon they use for the dissolution of the University Court and appointment of a special committee. You just don't listen to somebody we advocate, don't they advocate for this issue? See. The Constitution we wanna refer to not justiciable for do the action we wanna do.
Well, thank you very much. I don't listen to Mr. Fatoma. Of course, they make mention of Section 61 of the Constitution. One or ever make mention of Section 61.
It not being clear on the section we use.
Well, at the end, it actually make mention of Section 61. The reason why, well, we don't necessarily say for come at this place here because yesterday a lot of misinformation. Mr. Fatoma misinformed the public.
Like on which basis? Like on waiting misinformed.
You know, they get any basis because it talks say the minister rely on Section 8, Section 8(5) of the Universities Act for appoint the acting vice chancellor.
If we have been they follow the program, why would I not call that time immediately because in back me there at the studio at the moment.
So I know they just call again for actually be a management decision for make me. But like they can assume we listen them and it was a management decision that I have to come.
So yesterday a management decision.
So now if we talk say we don't appoint acting vice chancellor relying on Section 8(5). That's wrong. You see, when you do not understand the situation, come and ask. Mr. Fatoma not ever take time for Canada ministry and act. He just they listen to waiting people that don't tell him outside or the university don't tell him. Now they come to the ministry and we own side of the story. You're not civil society activist. But yesterday, it was rather unfortunate. Mr. Fatoma Sidonaya, they use some unprintable words, against the ministry. Where will not be the even caution?
So now we come to the issue. Now we look onto the issue and not focus on individual.
Section 8(5) actually, it talk about the substantive holder of that position, of the vice chancellor and principal, which is why we say, okay, let the acting vice chancellor is appointed. You understand? Until the substantive holder of that position is appointed, relying on Section 8, subsection 5 of the University Act. Even as the search committee don't wait and call, you don't interview, you don't get the people, they bring back those names to the minister, and the minister now they recommend that person to chancellor for appointment. You understand? So they talk say which I don't talk the basis. The TC man don't talk. The lapses of the university will lead to the dissolution of his court, and they don't prefer remedies. What to for do? You understand? So they argue say we not get any legal basis, and I don't make mention of the constitution of Sierra Leone, Act number 5 of Act number 6 of 1991. I don't make reference to Section 62, where talk say where any minister has been charged with the responsibility for any department of government shall exercise general direction and control over that department. The Ministry of Agriculture to supervise University of Sierra Leone. No, the
general control is it to ask the university court for appoint the acting vice chancellor and do the needful, or the ministry name for go ahead and do appointments.
If the minister don't see say things are going bad, that university day,
Now, with responsibility as a minister for come in for actually correct the situation.
Correcting the situation.
Because the
una
minister
be
go for go sit down na cabinet, na in the go for act.
una
Not to
role
chairman, they
una
go for
role
act.
na the
Not to civil society.
una
act, they
role
go for
is
act.
it
And minister,
una
then they
role
go for
una
act.
role is it supervision of the universities or tertiary educations them, or una for take part in the running of the institutions?
We don't take part in the running of the institution. I made mention of the fact that if the university will not actually perform their duty, then play the role actually for appoint the university court, for appoint the pro vice chancellor, the ministry had no business appointing the acting vice chancellor. I don't make this clear. Initially, I make mention of this. Yeah. So I don't say because of this, because they don't perform their duty, their role, and we don't see say the student they go first, it will affect the students them, it will affect the parents them. Now, so from what they done last year, some of them we don't advertise but put scholarship, international scholarship. Therefore, don't can't some mark for can't interview, but because you know that original, you know can.
Okay.
So they disadvantage the students. So which is the reason why the ministry go for campaign.
So this actual one,
if anything go bad, now the ministry they go ask. Now the ministry they go ask.
So
It's
this action one I
unfortunate.
don't take so go make them graduate.
Well, yes, we are working towards that. Yesterday, when the acting vice chancellor don't assume office on Monday, a lot of progress has been made. In fact, they don't sign but put results them which they
Who that
publish
sign am?
today. It was called the VC&P. Now they give approval. So it don't sign them, and the registrar don't sign. Today they publish Baku results them. By Friday, before Friday, a lot of maybe 100% of them results they will not publish, and we are up and we'll be settled for the graduation. You understand? They talked to the registrar, the acting registrar yesterday. Even the processes leading to the change of signatories, all of that is at an advanced stage. They don't actually do that. The change of signatories, and that kind of thing. So, I mean, you know, go actually left for wait until the substantive, the appointment of the substantive holder, therefore, is a process.
But according to the
Therefore,
president for ASA yesterday, anything that we just explained, we are in, now they on progress for sign result by Friday, then we don't publish. These are all challenges right now with the university not able to do. So if you say challenges, then they for Leone process some of them results, then they now you say they don't sign and by Friday.
Now they tell you, they talked to the acting registrar yesterday as to what they happen. He tell me say a lot of the results they don't sign. They don't sign and go publish them today.
Okay,
you see, and once results are published, then the university go ready for organize the graduation ceremony for students.
All right, let me follow up on that particular issue there, where you say. But again, the reason we make the ministry can sign and appoint somebody, not that na politics on the play with the university.
No, well, that's the opinion of that person there. But me no say
The
not to
president.
and the president. When I hear opinion, but me no say not to politics. I cannot argue on opinion. I argue on fact. You understand? So if we don't actually talk, say these people, we don't supervise them. When you ask the registrar of Eastern Technical University, do you have a pro vice chancellor? He say yes, they have a pro vice chancellor. A baby university. And I asked EBK and it's by Proma University, the chancellor. The vice chancellor, do you have a pro vice chancellor? He said yes, they have a pro vice. I asked MMT Metima guy, do you have a pro vice chancellor? I said yes, they have a pro vice chancellor. So what's wrong? University of Sweden don't forget a pro vice chancellor.
No, Mr. Momoh, if they approve their result, they don't sign their result there. So we according to the university act, university court name for approved the results them. Without the university court, would I go for approved the result here? So we una design.
Fine, that's a very good question. The vice chancellor, we don't get a vice chancellor and principal. When I am the chief academic and administrative head of the university, he's the operational man.
Then they take the place of the university court. Is that the case?
Before ever that result, then they come to court. They go for go through Senate. Senate go for look at them. They go for approve. They go for look at them. They present them. And whether are the senators? Therefore, no say section 17, subsection 1 of the Universities Act make provision for senators. Whether are the senators? You get you get the pro vice chancellor, you get the DVC, you get the direction of institute, you get the deans of faculty, you get the heads of department, you get professors, you get librarians. All professors of the university are automatically members of Senate. So if all of those ones don't they don't present the result them, they don't look at them, they don't consider them, they don't approve them. The vice chancellor and principal, when they are the chairman of Senate, the acting
so you basically they tell
approval. Now if you give approval, then it can also take administrative decision for approve the result.
So you basically
later it can be ratified. Those results can be ratified by court.
So basically, how would they ratify where student and get the result then now?
No. I mean, now just a matter of formality. You don't ratify. You don't go through Senate. You don't go through Senate for.
So basically, they say the university. They would approve budgets now. Now the university as a president, they say then they get challenge them for approved budgets and other things. Would they do that now?
You get this. I don't tell you say change of signatories and you get the acting finance director, you get the acting registrar, we gotta get the VCNP. So all of those ones, then they can take actions, they can approve budgets, and then for the operationalization of the university.
Okay.
So in the university, when you don't talk, say the vice chancellor, when I did that the operational man a day on seat. It can ratify the result, it can approve the result, and later ratified by the university court. So the idea of telling students that when they can't get degree, we know it. Nah, lie. I mean, I'm sorry, that's not fact.
Okay, so continue for stay with me. We still get the TEC man at the studio, Mr. Josephus. But quick, we go online and join Dr. Abdullah Kebawa, President Academic Staff Association. We INSEF they follow the program and say you want to make clarification quickly. Hello, good morning and welcome to the program, Mr. Bawa. Dr. Bawa.
Hello.
Dr. Bawa, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes, yesterday we got you at the studio. You make your point, but today they follow the program and say you get some few clarifications. Them, of course, the production team can deem say them for give you the space for respond to anything we perhaps go against the person or you want make your input into the program. What's your position so far?
Well, I don't listen the program. Now the consistent misrepresentation of the facts where the ministry representative and E.J. Momoh they misinform the public about. Now I want for clear. There is no provision for say University of Sierra Leone, now a department under Ministry of Education. Now establish that fact. Now department will they get policies for department, but will not they get an act for a department. So university not a department under. So that relevant sections where the codes now the constitution, it don't make any sense. It not relevant to this situation. That's one. Then it talks say they rely on section 8.5. I want that is saying a lawyer. Section 8.5 clearly states say if the vice chancellor and principal not then in position for performing duty, the pro vice chancellor then they step in. I don't know which school of thought talks say which school of thought talks say that provision are for appoint. That means I don't know which English way do then study we make that provision there because I don't ever know say that the interpretation of that section down there. Then 3, it talks say then they get change of signature. Then the vice chancellor and principal don't
Yes, Miss Dr. Bawa, quick one. Now we focus on the issue than individual, and they protect we studio guests them as a caution. INSEF just now on his statement against Fatoma. Like any other guest, we protect them and we no go allow anybody use any language on you. Just make your point without attack on personality. Go ahead.
No. The point I want to make is, you say then they sign results, then they change signatures, then the VC, the registrar, and then they sign results. The University Act clearly states now only courts now they approve results. Not a vice chancellor, no more decision office approve results and then go congregate people there. It's inside the act. Let not make mockery of this document when at the state organ, when a parliament make them. Because now something we're not in favor, so I will say this thing is wrong. Let tread on the right path. The university clearly states on how results they go through courts before then come into the congregation stage. And only the chancellor then get the mandate and the vice chancellor and principal substantive then get the mandate for signing then check and data. It's nothing like acting in the act. So let them not misinform the public. It says section 8.5 clearly states if the vice chancellor not the pro vice chancellor. There is nothing like acting. It's a use section 62 of the Constitution. Section 62 of the Constitution says supervise and control. Supervise and control means an appointment they for do. What will be wrong if they before advise the ministry say that advice role they for play, they for advise the court say, when I not get pro vice chancellor, when I go appoint one. Okay, the chancellor they say they not get pro vice chancellor. The chancellor say let the court appoint one. The court appoint one. They send out to the back. They say they not agree panel. So we say they want let the court stand.
Thank you very much for your contribution to the program, Dr. Abdullah K. Bawa, and the President for the Academic Staff Association. The program na Good Morning Salon, we come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. We go, before we go for one of our headline stories, them quick at the the representative from the Tertiary Education Commission, we them they for advice on issues we get for do with higher education at the country. You don't listen to the arguments from different angles, you don't observe keenly. Wasn't I taking all of this?
Yes, you know, when situation like this, you know, people they come with two different mindsets and perception, right? What we establish first night today, we're clear that this congregation, which slated for April, was already approved by the then courts. It was not as a result of the dissolution, make a day to April. I think that's very clear. That the courts be make them very clear. So now, when they talk about a congregation within April, we get a resolution, a committee where they work on some of them things here. Let not begin prejudice some of the decisions that we get for camp. There's a possibility, that a new court will have been reconstituted before April. There's a possibility that a new chancellor, based upon this act can possibly and get them things ratified. I just come in, I just preempt. So don't wait until the time for graduation come. You say okay, they bridge this, then bridge that, and no bridge that. Not begin justify certain things.
Una the advice.
Right?
Una the advice.
Exactly.
Una the advice on education.
Yes.
Quickly come. And we see the dissolution of the university courts and the setting up of a special committee for do the work of the university courts. Where according to this committee, waiting we don't gather so far, don't advise the Minister of Education on their limits for sake then work at the university and for replace the university courts. Now, you think if then dissolve or after the dissolution of the university court, now for set up a special committee now for reconstitute the university courts.
No, but even before you get for reconstitution of a process, I want to establish that very clearly. Reconstitution of a court process, because mind you, recommendation therefore go to His Excellency for the Chancellor, His Excellency like busy person, it gets so much time. So there is already a committee in place where they take the activities of the university until a new court is reconstituted. So you know, go just like a can superimpose like for say today a new court for come. And I think I'm in a part of the inaugural meeting of that committee, right? TC was also part of it, right? So some of the functions the way people make as if to say nothing is happening is not true, right? Because all of the DVCs are members of that committee. All of the DVCs they continue to perform the administrative functions as well as the academic functions at the moment. Let's establish that fact very clearly, right? That the university not on a standstill. No, even as we talk so now, there are timetables, draft timetables already for exams. We're already there. The DVCs then get responsibility for disburse certain funds for the respective campuses, therefore keep them going, right? The committee don't make suggestions in terms of finances until a new court is constituted. And I make it very clear now, right? What they talk about some of these things. This parliament, what they talk about. The resolutions, they're very clear, Musa. Even yesterday, I went for the executive director. It misrepresents what in parliament states. Parliament has 6-point resolution. I can read them very clearly if you not give me the opportunity.
Would they come to you back?
No, I mean, not just they're not only person like a blatant disregard. Parliament say 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, uphold the acting. 2, ensure say within 6 months, right, the court for the reconstitute and get a search committee, and where possible, even get a vice chancellor in seat. So all of them things here they are work in progress. You understand? Not talk as if to say nothing or they happen. And that the last part of this one, anybody will breach their resolution here, and contempt.
All right.
So you see, so it very explicitly clear, except now everyone for even begin discredit. We all making people you understand? So that's one follow you understand.
Continue for the way inside the program, Mr. Sawyer. We'll take one of our headline story, then we'll go talk to Emmanuel J. Momoh Esquire. Now they take one of us to read them. Usai asked the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Abbas Sherin say the review of the toll gate tariff will only happen if the tariff data are available for both government and China Railway 70 Group. The Director General of the National Roads Authority, the Sierra Leone Roads Authority Engineer Alfred Jalin Mahmoud, don't say the traffic data document we then get for CRSG get plenty irregularities then. Well, for more on this, make we join Sherin Ojalo.
But 8 years ago, the government of Salone be entered into agreement with the China Railway 7th Group, CRSG, for build, operate and transfer the road from Wellington to Masheka, on about 62-kilometer road, and will cost about $154 million United States dollar. Also, the company will operate this road for about 27 years, and later, hand them over to government. 8 years ago, the company don't they collect different amounts of copper from Mutukadem, where they use this road. As this now the way out of a pull back them couple, we don't invest pan this road according to the agreement. But this BNTM information we meet Salon people now that the company want for add pan the couple we to them, they pay for use this road because the carry out fuel price don't go up and self the carry out dollar self don't go up. But this position by the company now I know plenty people not being gribbled we make parliament don't get one engagement to command them at the Ministry of Works and Public Assets, CRSG, civil society organization member them, and other people for talk on the reason for the proposed increment. During this engagement, we in the talk, the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Sherin say the reason for this engagement now because them as member of Parliament them want for hearing from all the player them before they take any decision. As them go before for make this important point, we believe say both the government and the company for take into serious consideration before they make any adjustment.
The tariff can only be reviewed by the two parties to the agreement based on the traffic data. That traffic data is in possession of one of the parties. We definitely want to know if the other party is now privy to that data, and if so, to what extent? Because a review can only happen if that data is available and available to both parties. So it is very critical that whatever adjustment needs to be made to the tariff, it has to be based on data. Very scientific. According to the agreement, the criteria is very clear and simple. It has to be based on the data.
The Speaker end up say, this is for only inform them on the traffic data, but for also inform the people of Salone on how far the government don't come for pay the loan. But this good traffic data, where the Speaker they refer to, according to Bingo CRSG, they don't provide all documents them concerning that traffic data to the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA.
Since the beginning, the construction and tolling of this road, we have been submitting the reports which contains the traffic data, the construction progress on a regular basis to the government authority, Sierra Leone Roads Authority. It means that this traffic data is not only possessed by us, it has been made available to the government authority. And also, I have submitted the traffic data to the Ministry of Works. And this traffic data is not prepared only by us. It is prepared jointly by our operating team and the representative of SLRA. SLRA have two operating representatives on site, one from the technical department, the other from the financial department.
As Bingo they say, they know the ANOBA document them here in and out to the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, SLRA. This now with the Director General, now the Sierra Leone Roads Authority, Alfred Momoh say some of them documents here so get issue.
At the SLRA, of course, data has been coming in, but what we would like to say is the data is not comprehensive enough because it comes in different forms and sometimes very irregularly.
DG, data is provided by the CRSG. When you receive that data, what action do you normally take to verify that data? Or are you just a repository of data from the party, or do you make an attempt to verify the authenticity of the data that you get?
Attempts have been made to work with them, but then it has not been very, very fruitful and consistent.
As the discussion for proper disclosure of financial audited reports, vehicular traffic and other information them continue for comment from the public, this now where the Minister of Works and Public Assets, Dr. Dennis Sandy Pin say, not to all within inside this agreement for reach out to the public.
Mr. Speaker, we have to be careful when signing documents. Listen to what it says here. 3.5, the concessionee shall not be obliged to disclose any document in respect of which the concessionee can claim legal privilege against the concessionaire. So imagine it's here that we are not supposed, even as a government, to disclose any document. Mr. Speaker, all members, this is a highly classified document. I repeat, this is a highly classified document. And I'm so happy the Right Honourable Speaker is saying that we need to tread cautiously on this matter.
But with this statement from the minister, Senator Oltudin at this document, the public for no but make plenty people when they wonder how public documents go get private sections inside. But even with this confidential part of the agreement, the Minister of Works and Public Assets, Dr. Dennis Sandy, say, they will forget record for about 1 year traffic data.
Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to inform this honorable House and our people that because of my approach of humility and respect to the Chinese, they have made available to us the best traffic data. What they have done now, my people, ladies and gentlemen, the CRSG, they've presented a traffic volume of toll gate for the entire year 2023. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to announce here that for the total number of vehicles that crossed those 3 toll gates in 2023 was 9,804,365.
After then different positions also from different people who will make statements inside this engagement, the speaker, Dr. Abbas Cheng Nobundu, end up assure Salon people say by the next sitting this Thursday, he will give word to Salon people. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me, Nacheng Nojalo. The report.
Good morning, Salon. We can say from 98.1 FM from that report. The producers need to signal to we for 10 minutes to the program we can to the Director of Higher Education. We from the Minister of Higher and Technical Education, when Mr. Momoh said the program Esquire, he don't make you point, but somebody on Facebook page they say now only the university courts get right for sign results them. Now graduation at the end. Graduation at April this year, how soon will we constitute the university courts for ensuring they rectify their results also. But before we respond to that, quick we'll go for walkabouts. I ask you a question just now, and that would round up statement a message of assurance because there's a belief that graduation not going to take place, and the university already they postponed them programs then now as the matriculation postponed, and according to saying that the university is trained right now without nobody know for approve the budget. Them what's in the way for work?
Now at the time say possibly now for approve the budget. You understand? We get the vice chancellor and principal. They don't begin work as I tell you on Monday. But let me also make a point here that the people then that as I tell you now initially that Senate now are the highest academic decision-making body in the university.
Not to the courts again.
No, I said academic. Courts are the highest administrative decision-making body in the university. Why Senate are the highest academic decision-making body in the university? You understand? But you will understand it too. Right? And that Senate is headed by the Vice Chancellor and Principal.
If the university courts are the highest decision-making body in the university,
administrative,
it means that even administrative, they're under the mandate. That's not the case.
Now, before ever result they go to court, Senate will don't look at it, they don't approve it. Now, look at what in the act they say, now section 18, subsection D, they say the Senate now they authorize the granting of degrees, diplomas, certificates, and other academic awards. You understand? A Senate responsibility that, and the Vice Chancellor and Principal, they are the chairman of that thing. So if they don't look at it, I don't know what they call. If you say, I don't really see any reason why people they talk say that. But let me come to this. The ASA where they talk, ASA really get the mandate. The mandate now for actually cater for the welfare of their colleagues. Not for actually can begin to talk on administrative issues. Yesterday, it was a derogatory statement where Dr. Bahas Donai, the talk say, in fact, the Vice Chancellor is from his village, they go pick and that kind of, come on, University of Jala University. He says somebody don't rise to the level of professor
Then they say from his village. That's regret is not done.
Now, Mr.
As I
Momoh,
sit here, yes.
Any plans there for reverse this decision with the ministry may take for start at the court for set them up back?
Yeah, we get for reconstitute the court. Well, it's a process that you don't hear from the TC person that says so. It's a process. In fact, that was what we told the committee that when a function actually enough for just come look at the for oversee the activity of the university and forget this the court reconstituted with immediate effect. And that was what the chairman, the chair lady told the meeting at this inaugural meeting. You understand? So that was misinterpreted yesterday also by Dr. Bawa. I say, well, the chairman say you're not able, like, the work, don't let them go to. And I've come on, the chair lady not ever say so. You understand? So in fact, Dr. Bawa was cautioned yesterday by ASA that he is misrepresenting them, that he should not be even talking on behalf of ASA. He was cautioned, and I want to believe he's going to be impeached.
No. That's we not get the facts to that. We not get the fact to that statement. Anyway, so as a caution, Dr. Bawa, we caution yourself not for use personal attack. We address the issues. I can't to justify us quickly. What's in the way forward quickly?
Of course, the way forward, there is already a roadmap, right? As I say, I like for delve into issues with specification. We don't talk to the ministry, advise the ministry. The Parliamentary Oversight Committee, the roadmap was very clear, right? We work with that. Now the committee already part of the agreement don't be constituted. So there are plans on the way. There's an acting vice chancellor on the seat right now. So maybe even the 3 or 4 months period they talk about, all of these things go maybe don't even settle before that. So it's just about giving time, let everything move on, and then we have like a clear sanity at the university going forward.
Thank you guys wanna join me inside the program. The voice we just listened to now the executive secretary for TEC, Joseph Sawyer, and same way inside the program we get the director of higher education, Emmanuel Momoh Esquire. And so they had a look at issues that we get for do with the university. Well, I go to the quarter of the program. Good morning, Salon. We come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Plenty thank you to Kabia Mange Mansari put the program together. Plenty thank you to you, Abdul Gilen, DJ Keman, Fatmata Samura, and Adeyemi Jackson. Make us see you live on Facebook. So till we meet for another edition. My name is Usman Kamara. Bye bye.
And Musa.